Dr. Josh, Mookie Hawkins, World Full Sports 1080. How's it going, man?
Good to see you, Mook.
Hey, man, year 3, we saw you evolve into this, this rising star. And now year 4, teams are cover 2 shelling you to death. What have you learned about being patient? And, when did you really feel it sink in? Was it a Pacific game or a field study, the way things are appearing to slow down to you now?
Are you talking about this year or just in general?
Yeah, just year 4, you know what I mean? Just dealing with the patience this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know we didn't win the Tennessee game. I think I learned a lot from that game. The amount of zone they were playing and how teams were playing us from there before that game during the season. And just kind of learning, obviously, getting the backs involved, getting the tight ends involved, finding checkdowns a little quicker. Again, still learning, still progressing in that aspect. And I've got a long way to go, but I think if there's one game where I learned, I think the most this year was that game.
Absolutely, man. And what has gotten into this team the past 10 quarters, man? It seemed like, everybody y'all play, it's like, it's like y'all playing Tampa Bay. Everybody is like Tampa Bay right now. Y'all been playing lights out the past 10 quarters. What's gotten into this team?
Well, I think just a sense of urgency within the season, understanding what we need to do in order to accomplish the goals that we set out for ourselves. So, it's been fun, these last few weeks with how focused we are in practice, how detail oriented we are in practice and throughout the games, and just the communication that we've had with each other has been brutally honest, and it's been really good for this team, and we got to keep it rolling.
If I could get a quick one in, man, John Madden, what has he meant to you in your career, just overall?
I mean, everyone's talked about the Madden game. That's how I learned football, was playing that game as a kid, learning the rules, learning the penalties. So I mean, that game's had a huge impact on me, and my heart goes out to his family because he affected so many people throughout his life, for the better, and he was one of the good ones.
Keep saying great things in opponent's locker room, Josh. Have a good week.
Thanks, Mook.
Hey, Josh, John Worrell.
Good to see you, War.
Good seeing you. To piggyback off of your answer on the focus that you've had over the past couple of weeks, you're coming off an emotional win, a big win, and how do you guard against, or, how do you try to maintain that focus and guard against a letdown, at this crucial time, especially after the highs that you got last weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Every week from here on out, a playoff game, and that's how we're addressing this team. This isn't a team that's going to lay down. They're still in the playoff hunt as well. They're a really good coached football team. They got some playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. They've got, one of the great quarterbacks to play the game over there in Matt Ryan, who's, been playing really well as of late. And we got to be ready for whatever they throw at us, and we got to put together and execute a good game plan in order to win this game. Because again, this is a team that they're hungry, they're going to be fighting, and again, it's two teams that want something. We got to go get it.
And changing topics, Isaiah McKenzie, we all know his playful nature and, him talking about being the face of the franchise and you're not and all this stuff. What does it say about the confidence that he carries himself with? And I'm not saying he's overconfident, but just the confidence he carries with himself, and how much you think it may have helped play a role in this up and down season that he had to be able to come off the bench, after being benched 2 weeks, to doing what he was capable of doing, to showing what he was capable of doing once again last weekend.
Again, I think you've got to have a lot of confidence in yourself, and he's one of those guys that's got supreme confidence in himself, and he's going to let everybody know about it. But, as far as work ethic, how he approaches his teammates, he's a glue guy in the locker room. Guys love talking with him because he gets so heated in arguments, about basketball, football, baseball, whatever you want to talk about. He's got to argue with you. But again, he's competitive as heck, and that's what kind of makes him who he is. He's scrappy. He's hungry. He's got a really cool upbringing and story behind him, and it's really cool when you see someone like that have success, because again, you find yourself rooting for a guy like that, and he's been nothing but awesome. He's been here. He's been one of my longer teammates here. Getting here my rookie year, halfway through the season, and all he's done is work and put his head down and, take advantage of his opportunities.
What does that mean to you, a glue guy? I mean, I kind of have a definition of it myself, but when it comes to Isaiah, who isn't a star and yet wants to, every time he gets a chance, seems to show that he can be a star. But what the glue guy part of it? How important is that to have? What can you define the quality and how important is that to have that quality in that room?
Yeah, it's extremely important to have that. And the way I describe it is, you can't walk in the locker room without hearing something from him. He's constantly engaging with teammates, having conversations. And again, like I said, if you just want to vent and argue about something, you go to his locker and he'll argue with you forever.
Great. Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh. Ryan Bates, he comes in and has the game that he had the other day. You've been around him a while since he's been here. What's it been like watching him kind of work while he waits, his work ethic, and then seeing it kind of play out the way that it did, especially given the fact that he had to move over to left guard halfway through the game?
Yeah, I mean, you put me on the spot. He's sitting right next to me, so I guess I can't say what I really want to say about this guy. No, Bates has been awesome. Again, he's been here a while learning the system and had a little opportunity to go out there and kind of show what he's got. And, it was awesome to see him as well as really the other four guys go out there this last game and put together a really solid. I mean, it was great to see how well those guys communicated and they played. But again, to your point, with him, how long he's been here and the opportunities that he's gotten, and to take advantage of that opportunity this last weekend was huge, and couldn't be happier for him.
And then from the quarterback position, how difficult is it for you, having Isaiah have the game that he has and probably wanting to get the ball more to him with Cole being back, Gabe being back? How tough is it game in and game out to spread it around and get everybody involved?
People want to make that a bigger deal than it needs to be, but whoever's on the field, if they're getting open, that's who we're going to try to throw the ball to. And again, just finding ways to put our guys in successful positions and situations is, what Dave's is known for. And, our guys are taking advantage of their opportunities. And again, these next couple of weeks and leading into the playoffs, we've got to be on top of our game. And, it's playoff season from here on out for us. And we understand that.
Hey, Josh.
Thad, we're having trouble hearing you.
Is that it?
Thad.
I think we got one more
All
question.
right, we're going to go to Dante real quick.
Hey, Josh, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Perfect. With all that Emmanuel Sanders has gone through in this past month, for him still to be able to contribute in this offense, what does that say about him as a pro and as a person?
Yeah, he's the guy in the locker room that he doesn't care about how many touches he gets, how many yards or touchdowns he gets. All he wants to do is win football games and help this team win football games no matter what role he may play. And we've seen him this year be the first read in a lot of routes and a couple games. He's multiple touchdown guy and 100+ yard games. And then we've seen him kind of be the role player. And again, he's here for whatever the team needs him to be. And I love him. I love his approach to the game right now. And, he's made me a better quarterback and he's taught me so many different things throughout this season, and he continues to do so. And we're going to need him going forward. We're going to need all of our guys going forward, but him especially.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Dante. You as well.
Josh, you hear me okay?
Yep, I got you.
Sorry about that before. My bad. You talk about, wanting to make or learning about getting the check down receivers more. You did that real well, it seemed like, early in that Patriots game. Do you think that's one of the best games you've had in terms of that particular discipline so far this year?
I'd say so. Just in terms of targets, ball placement, and how quickly I got it to the running backs. But again, it takes two to tango. They were getting out quick in this, the deep cover zones that they were playing, giving me good body language. And when they were catching the ball, especially motor, just the ability to turn and get north as quickly as possible and skip some third down. So that was really good to see. That's something that we've been practicing for a while, and to see motor put that into actual gameplay, that's going to be huge for us going forward when teams want to start playing this deep zone. And, he's got to be a really big threat for us, and he was this last game.
Sean pointed out that first or second play where Motor caught the ball and then bowled over two guys on the sideline for a first down. Sean called it one of his favorite plays of the year. For you, what kind of a tone setter was that in the game? And then also with Devin, what have you seen from the last couple, 2-3 weeks that's, Sean said he's elevated his game. Where have you seen that as well?
Yeah, I mean, again, that second play really, but the first touch that he got to catch the ball at a yard deep and then to go get a first down with 2 or 3 guys trying to tackle him. I mean, it set the tone for sure for us. We see that, and we see how hungry some of our guys are, how much we wanted that game. And again, these last 4 weeks, Devin's been just unbelievable in terms of when he gets his opportunities, he makes the most of them. And I alluded to this after the game, but you watch Devin on any single play, whether he has the ball or not, he is rushing downfield. He is finding work, blocking somebody, following the ball, picking somebody up after the play. Like he just does everything the right way. And it's, again, we've got a lot of guys on this team that do that, and you can't just be so happy when they have success. And Motor's definitely one of those guys where, again, he's not going to complain if he doesn't get his touches, and he's not going to cry when he doesn't get touchdowns. All he wants to do is be on the field, make plays for this team, and celebrate with everybody in the end zone, because you see it time and time again.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Hi, Josh. This is Nick Farrow from Sports Illustrated. Your receiving depth, I guess, has been pretty obvious, especially these last few weeks. But now it looks like, barring any kind of setback, you're going to have everybody together. Maybe there's only one football to go around. Is that kind of a challenge to try to, keep everybody happy? I know you mentioned how unselfish these guys are, but and maybe this is more of a question for Dave's, but you're going to be at full strength, and now all of a sudden you have, Gabe and Isaiah and everybody else, and your running backs and one football.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know the exact stat of how many times we threw it last week, but I think it was upwards of 40, 45 times. And we know that we're a team that likes to throw the ball. So there's opportunities out there for everybody, and we just got to make the most of them. When guys are in certain plays, certain situations, and they understand that, I'm not trying to force feed anybody. I'm just trying to find the open guy and give them a shot to make plays. So, again, it's a luxury to have this type of mini weapons and guys that are able to make plays and wanting to make plays. And I think that's the main thing. We have guys that want to make these plays, which I'd rather have it that way than the other way.
Thank you.
That's all we have. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. And now 6'5", 335 pounds, number 71, Rick Bates.